Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to review the. It is time to talk about the playoffs games that we saw tonight. Um, again, not the most competitive we saw, not the most close games we saw here tonight. Um, let's talk about the first game: Seattle versus Atlanta. I thought Seattle was going to win. I thought they were a better. I thought they were the better team overall. But damn it, Atlanta showed up, especially defensively. I thought they did a lot better job than people expected them to do. Matthew Stafford flat out played his flat out. I cannot be stuttering. I apologize. Matthew, what the fuck am I saying? I Matt Staff, Matt Ryan, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan played an absolutely perfect game. 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards. I believe 339 yards. Hell of a game for Matt Ryan. For Matt Ryan, hell of a game for him. He showed why he's a candidate for the league MVP, along with Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Derek Carr. This brother ain't no joke. When you give him weapons like he has this year, Julio Jones and everybody else, Freedom, the wide receiver, everybody else, this brother can really play football. I've always known this brother can play football. You just got to put players around him, weapons around him. And this year he's had them. And he has a pretty good offensive coach. And Kyle Shanahan, who I do not know why he has not been hired to be a coach, a head coach in the NFL just yet. Maybe San Francisco. We'll see. I do not understand. I may have to make a video about those new coaches we got around the league because I am not impressed. That's another video for another day. But yeah, this team, this is probably the best I've seen Matt Ryan. He really has a good team. He really has weapons, led by Julio Jones. But it's a very good team. Defensively, I've been saying that this team ain't about shit defensively because I thought that Dan Quinn was going to do right away. He was going to turn that defense around. It has not seemed like that. But tonight, they played very good defensively. So maybe they're going to slowly start turning that thing around here in the playoffs, That was one of my things that I was saying about how I thought that was going to be the problem for Atlanta, that their defense was not going to be able to get enough stops on Seattle's offense. But boy, was I wrong. Hell of a game. They even got a safety, 2 interceptions. They were giving Russell Wilson a lot of problems. Russell Wilson did his best, but 2 interceptions, not his best game. Defensively, really struggled. I cannot believe Earl Thomas. It's only one guy. Your safety, I guess. I don't know if you cannot blame it all on Earl Thomas. There was some other things going on. Atlanta was just simply the better team, both offensively and defensively. Everybody was talking about Atlanta's offense, but I thought tonight, defensively, they showed up as well. And that's where they're moving on to the NFC Championship game because they just flat out played better than Seattle. Seattle seemed to really struggle. Both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively, especially defensively. And it was part of both. Seattle's defense struggling, but Atlanta's offense being so good. And I think this was a very good win for Atlanta going up against a team like Seattle, a defense like Seattle. So it really shows that their offense is really that good when you can score over 30 points on a team like Seattle. So that I think it was a good win and a good start for Atlanta here in the playoffs. Now we will see what happens in the NFC Championship game. Let's go to the other game: Houston versus New England. Tom Brady struggled in this game, had 2 interceptions. Really struggled. But also you got to give credit to Houston. Houston has a pretty good defense. But offensively they ain't about shit. Brock Osweiler sucks ass, and you have him throw the ball 40 times. I thought they should have done a better job of bouncing that with the run with Lamar Miller, and so I don't get it. Kind of the same thing as last week with Oakland. When they played Oakland, I thought Oakland ran the ball way too much for having a guy like a rookie quarterback in Connor Cook. I thought the same thing this week. I thought Houston Texans ran the ball way too much. I thought that. You know what? I am so tired of messing up. I thought Houston did not run the ball enough. Just like last week, Oakland did not run the ball enough with Connor Cook. I thought they should have done a little bit better job of running the ball and not throwing it for 40 times. I thought they threw it for too much. This year's going to suck ass. I already know. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. This is not my best product. I apologize in advance. I know this video's going to suck ass. I'm stuttering like a motherfucker. I'm messing up on my words. I actually... Not my best video right now, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. But yeah, I thought Houston passed the ball too much, relied on passing the ball with Brock Osweiler, who isn't that good. And you know, Houston continues to have the problem as they have the last few years. They just do not have a quarterback. They have great defense. They have pretty good wide receivers, Will Fuller, DeAndre Hopkins, you know, but they just running back Lamar Miller, you know, they just don't have the quarterback. Simple as that. This team, the only reason why they have not gone farther is because they do not have a quarterback. And it's just bad luck. Because you pay $72 million to Brock Osweiler, expecting him to finally be the guy, and turns out he's not going to be the guy. So now you're stuck with a $72 million contract. It's going to be very hard to get off this contract, especially in the beginning. Maybe towards the end there, in the middle of the contract, maybe you can trade them or release them. But you're looking at probably Brock Osweiler is still in Houston probably at least for next year, because you still have to pay him. I think like you still own him. I believe you have to pay him like 30. I'm not sure, like 30 something guarantee. So 37 guarantee, I believe it is. So you're stuck with Brock Osweiler at least for next year, and unless he can get it together, Houston probably can have a pretty good, find themselves in the same place they did this year, and they found themselves the last few years. A good team, led by a good defense, led by good wide receivers, led by good running back, but just not a good quarterback. They just do not have a good quarterback. And it will probably be the same next year, because they will probably be stuck with Brock Osweiler for next year as well because of that contract. And it really sucks because this team could have, you know, they're in a tough place because they make the playoffs, but they don't have a quarterback. So, you know, once you go to the draft, you're not in a good position to draft a good quarterback. So they're in a tough situation because they're a good team, but they're not a great team because they don't have a quarterback. And the only way you're going to get a quarterback is if you're a bad team, and then you can get a good draft pick to draft a good quarterback. But if you make the playoffs every year, like they do, once the draft comes, you're going to be in the upper 20s, and you're not going to have a good You're not going to have a good draft pick to pick a good quarterback unless you get lucky with a Dak Prescott or a Tom Brady. You know, you're not going to, or Russell Wilson. You know, you're not going to be able to pick high in the draft for a quarterback. So next year is probably going to be the same thing you see as it's been the last few years. No quarterback, unless Osweiler can get his head out of his ass. Ladies and gentlemen, New England, I think they will play better football next week. Whoever they play, whether it's Pittsburgh or Kansas City, I expect them to play better football. I thought this week they struggled a little bit. A part because they had not played football for a few weeks, and another part because I think Houston's defense is pretty good. Like they're actually the best team in football this year. So I think that was part of it. But I do expect New England to play a little bit better next week. But that's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. This video was not the greatest video in the world. I already know. I'm very frustrated with myself. I know I have to get better at this. The ratings have been going down on the CE show, and it's all because of me. It's all because of me, because I am not performing the way I need to perform. I need to get my head out of my ass, you know, and I need to perform better on the CE show, because otherwise, you know, this show's not going to go anywhere, and I will not make promised land if I continue to do these poorly videos. So I already know I did not perform to my capabilities, you know? I don't even know. As you can see, I continue to fuck up here on the CE show. I am the man that runs the plays. Even though I sucked ass in this video, I apologize. But until next time, I am the man that runs the plays. I am CE, and I will catch your ass down the road. I will see you guys tomorrow for the review, the recap of the Green Bay, Dallas, and Pittsburgh, Kansas City game up in here. Until next time, I am the man that runs the place. I am C, and I will catch you.